opening a can of Quiet Night, the third and final installment, Day 1 for Living the Tant Life. Because, as we all know, Derek Tant loves to talk about these tobaccos. Apparently, Quiet Nights is quite fancy. Yeah. I thought it was just flakes, but I guess not. Maybe I should ask him as to the best way. Do I rub it out? I also see that Mr. Tant is doing a live feed, but my phone is not getting the best internet connection because we have crappy internet. And we're learning that the hard way the last couple weeks. Earthy. Definitely smell a lot of Kia. Guessing maybe some Orientals. Let's see what the description says. Quiet nights, rich, deep, contemplative, ripe red Virginias, fine Orientals, smoky Cypress, a lot of Kia, and a pinch of Acadian Perique are pressed and matured and being sliced. The sophisticated flavors and exotic aroma provide a wonderful backup for quiet moments of reflection, a good book, and if you are so inclined, perhaps a wee dram. So what is a... Oh, I got some libations here, some homemade mead. Actually, Kaiser, now that I recall. Let's get this lit. Like I said, it's really dry, so it seems to be more like the... The crickets are out. Pretty soon I will see some of the feral cats and the wild coons. Kind of fitting that ending the day doing the Tant Life Challenge to do a live feed. While Derek Tant is doing a live feed, living the Tant life. This stuff is really hard to keep lit. There we go. All right. Finally got this lit. Still a lot more like Meridian than with Chelsea Morning. Mm. I don't think I've ever smoked out of this Oscar Briar before. This tobacco is really nice. It's kind of a mix of like a teeny tiny bit of dark chocolate with an overtone of vanilla. A hint of spiciness. And it's really smooth. These live feeds are weird. I did see 2 people were watching just like a minute ago. I can definitely see why he loves this. Tracked. Is there anything else that's on here? I think this is just the usual GL, please. Nope. Confused how I get a thumb up and there's nobody watching. Of course, I would be the technologically retarded one to use a live stream and not realize how it works. So the cider that I'm drinking is apple juice slash mesquite honey. It's going really well with the quiet nights. I have a feeling this is going to last a while. So this is actually going to be a quiet week. Little one doesn't have any doctor's appointments. As of this week, not really broke. Just don't want to spend any more money. And of course, the wedding this Friday. What? What wedding? Oh, Sarah and I are getting married. Okay, Derek. This is really good. Thank you for constantly hounding people to try it. So I don't know if I'm swearing the whole time, actually enjoying myself, wait for comments to pop up. And according to this, there's nobody on the feed. But like I said, really crappy internet connection. Let's take another look, shall we? So the packaging odd. Last time I saw something like this was with Briar Fox. That was a nice big cube. I don't know, is Briar Fox a plug? That's my understanding, where you gotta like break it off or slice it, or it just comes in one big chunk. Yeah, and the flake in here is just, I mean, they might as well have just tumbled it like all the others. Maybe it just makes it visually more appealing. I don't know. I can't imagine that it increases the flavor. So before I went to work today, the story came out about Asia, 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 Argento. Starting to think between Hollywood and politicians that everyone is just a, I don't know how to put it, sick bastard, morally corrupt. You have inspired me to crack open my can of quiet nights. Will you? Oh, where did that go? There we go. As a newish female piper, I've enjoyed your videos a lot and learned quite a bit. Thanks. Aw. Thanks. I'm actually shocked and surprised that I got a message because this is telling me nobody's watching. Yeah, I'm hoping to do a lot more. Well, not a lot more. Just gradually space out my videos more. I actually recorded 3 or 4 today, mostly doing these 3 reviews. But I'm also going to keep doing them throughout the week because as of right now, Chelsea Morning's just uh, not agreeing with me. But I mean, maybe it's just too much Oriental first thing in the morning, too spicy. Definitely woke me up. I was afraid this was going to be like Nightcap. I always hear horror stories about that. People passing out, getting nauseous. So seeing that I have viewers, what would you like to see more from me? I have ideas for videos in the future, but you know, feedback is always good. And I have a viewer. Well, hello, whoever you are. So I think I'm going to do some live feeds in the future of me cleaning those pipes that I bought over the weekend. The only downside is I usually tear all of them apart at the same time and, put the kosher salt in and alcohol, and that very entertaining. Cleaning out the bowls, though, that'd be entertaining because some of them have a ton of cake. There's cats running around everywhere out here. We must have like 30, and they're all inbred. It's horrible. Like that dude with the banjo from Deliverance. And every time I see him, because they're like cross-eyed, the eyes are like really close together. You know, they all have the same mom. There's only like one female cat out here, and in the spring and in the fall, she has a litter. And she always has 4 to 6 kittens. And so, who would it be? Uncle Dad? Brother Dad? There's some crazy stuff around in this neighborhood. Not as bad as where I was living. Old neighborhood, you got to watch cops live. So what are all of you up to tonight? Going to work? Coming home from work? Getting ready to go to bed like me? I didn't think this was going to be as good as it is. It's like no tongue bite. It's nice and cool. And this is actually a thinner bowl. It's not as thick as some of the other ones that I like. But I do love this rustication on it. It's one of the things I definitely stood out when I bought it. So I haven't bought a brand new pipe yet. I just get all of mine secondhand. And this one was fairly new when I bought it. But from my understanding, the rusticated look is actually cheaper. But then it's also in style, so I don't understand why it wouldn't cost more. Plus, I was watching how they actually do the designs on these, and it's more labor intensive than just smoothing it out and polishing it. Plus, it has this weird pointed stinger inside. I haven't seen the family of raccoons yet. They stay in one of the two trees across the street. And then the mom and five baby raccoons come down, and they just wreak havoc in the neighborhood all night. It's weird. The animals around here are like street gangs, except the cats are disorganized. The raccoons work together, and you hear the raccoons beating up. They're competing with for food. Sorry, my brother. Oh, bad connection. Is that what it is? Connection is quite slow due to major storm in southwest Ohio. I'm signing off. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by, man. I think I have a crappy connection on my side too. Don't get AT&T. Get, if you have the option of getting something better, I'd do it. I think the frogs are out in the street. Or toads. We have toads. La patient. I really enjoy how clear this came. It's got a nice multivitamin urine gold color. Although, if my imagination serves me correctly, it probably tastes better. You know, I definitely got lucky this weekend. I got 12 pipes, 12 really nice good pipes for a ridiculously good price. 2 pipes for free from future in-laws. A tin that I haven't seen before. I didn't show that in the video. I think the sweetness of the sizer is actually bringing out some of the other aromas in the tobacco. So I have a few ideas for future videos. And some of them I don't want to talk about because I want them to be a surprise. I still have to do a VR2 Unicorn Piper, who, to my surprise, is giving away McClellan. And that's limited. They didn't go out of business that long ago, but everybody's acting like, they just went extinct. They had this really interesting story on NPR the other day. It had to do with a museum that had these now extinct birds on display. They were stuffed, and of course, the morons in this museum didn't have them, and an air couldn't. People weren't stealing the bird; they were stealing the feathers from the birds. And the people stealing the feathers were selling them to fly fishermen so they can make certain flies that they couldn't make before. And the whole thing just sounded absurd. But then again, the few times I tried fly fishing, I couldn't get, couldn't figure it out. Didn't have anybody teaching me. Nobody to help guide me through it. I have a feeling because this is fresh, it's going to be a pain in the ass to keep lit. The ash on top isn't helping either. There we go. So this is day one of the Tant life. I think I'll do more live videos from now on. I'm surprised I haven't heard any sirens yet since I got home. For some reason, when I worked in the ER, Monday night was also a bad night. Like Friday, Saturday night, horrible. It was almost like people got out of work on Monday, and Monday was so chaotic, or you know, such a pain in the ass that people would just go out and start trouble. I don't know, rush home, get into an accident. And this bowl, I think, is on the last, like, third of it. So pretty soon I should have writing space, workspace, besides the dining room table that you guys have probably seen. I'm looking forward to that because right now I'm just in this crammed little spot. And the only time I can really use it is at night. It'd just be better if I was able to go upstairs and close the door, still be able to hear Zoe if she wakes up. I heard a story recently of a guy that he didn't have a writing space. Uh, Australia, he's from Australia. Sounds like they're looking at giving him an answer for literature. He was talking about 3 different typewriters to work with. He only works on a typewriter. Totally understand that. I've tried several different programs on the laptop that I used to have. First couple books were actually written on Microsoft Works, which is horrible. Really old school. Then I finally broke down and bought, had that installed. And that was slightly better. It was easier to like format stuff for publication. Then I bought Scrivener, which at first Scrivener was amazing. That was the program that I stuck with after that. One of the reasons I liked it was even if your laptop was connected online, you could have it was a blackout screen. The whole the whole screen of the computer would go black except for the line where the paper was at. And as you wrote, where you were at was always in the middle of the screen. So it was like a continuous line of paper. It didn't count pages. It didn't give you a word count. You just wrote. And the reason for the blackout screen was because ding, if you got email, if somebody messaged you, completely blocked out everything else. Well, then there was some program on my computer that upgraded, and all of a sudden, news articles are popping up and other things are popping up on the blackout screen. And that royally pissed me off. And now I don't have a computer. Kind of like it that way. Of course, you finished the rough draft for the book I'm currently working on, doing the final version. That's going to be difficult. Uh, okay, I don't know what kind of bug this is, but it's pissing me off. I should just put my Hunter S. Thompson sunglasses on, small hat, and start waving a fly swatter around. What the hell is flying at me now? Yeah, go away. You don't like so. Go away. Oh, this is almost done, which means I'm almost done. I get them off. It's not a bat. As far as I know, nothing weird was ever smoked in this. As far as I know. At the bottom of the bowl, starting to get more of the Oriental flavors. Is that a racist term for YTPC? Should we just be calling it Asian? Like, I don't really like Iranian or what? Cyprian, Oriental. I haven't really used that term since what? World War II? Vietnam, it was uh, Goo? Or was that Korea? Guy, I'd be up to date on my racist slang. I have a coworker from work that just a coworker from work. I have a coworker who is leaving tomorrow to go to Korea and Japan. I'm kind of jealous. As a guy who did Taekwondo for 10 years and then studied a couple Japanese Okinawan martial arts for 3 to 4 years. I'm a little jealous. Oh, hello, I have a viewer. I have been babbling to myself for the last 42 minutes and 10 seconds. One question I've been repeatedly asking is, what kind of videos would you like to see from me? That is, if you're familiar with my content. I have a few videos planned for later this week. And they're gone. That's sad. I just have a bad feed. I have a bad feeling I have a bad feed. Typewriting video, Beardless Gnome Joe. All right. Are you still there, Joe? I'm guessing it was the one with the Fox typewriter. I did do another one where I switched out the feed rollers for an old classic Underwood 4-bank. You should also check out my Doomsday Preppers video. A lot of people got a kick out of that. Alright, this is almost gone. But I still have this to finish. Recent studies show that alcohol actually disrupts your sleep in the middle of the night. Oh well. Too bad for you, alcohol. So, I'm hearing more typewriter videos. I can definitely do that. Just tuned in. What kind of typewriters do you own? Wow, okay. My phone is lying to me. It says I have no viewers right now, but you're there, so I'm going to talk to you. I have a ton of Royals, uh, an Underwood number 5, which is a really classic design, black. Um, a lot of decals all over it. The Fox typewriter, which I'm guessing is the video you probably saw. Currently not fully functional, but I'm hoping to get that fixed. I, actually, I have to seek some help from some other more knowledgeable people than myself to work on that. It's difficult because the Fox Typewriter Company was only in business from 1903 to 1921, so it's a very limited machine. So I have a bunch of Royals, the KMMs, KMGs, KMH, HH. So basically 1930s to the 1950s. Quite a few different portables, Remingtons. Everybody, when I mention typewriters on here, they always talk about Remingtons. And I think it's just because it's also the gun company, which was fairly common with typewriter companies, that if there wasn't a war going on, they'd switch back to typewriters. Same kind of steel, just a little slightly more complicated construction, but during peacetime, office, schools needed them. So easy money. Best thing to keep them running is gun oil, 3-in-1 oil. They also would make sewing machines. And not as popular. For a while, Singer was making sewing or typewriters, and I have a hard time coming across those. I don't think they're very popular. A couple of Olivetti's. I have one Olivetti 32 that is actually bought off of eBay. Ended up getting a refund on it because in the description it didn't say anything about the return handle being missing. Interesting, I never knew there was that connection between guns and typewriters. All right, so you are there. My phone is a liar. Yeah, the first typewriter was Scholl. Mark Twain was one of the first big writers to use one. First writer to actually turn in a manuscript that was typewritten. Scholl didn't last too long. They ended up merging with Remington. And Remington used to hire Underwood to make their typewriters, which I also thought was interesting. And then they had a split, and Remington was making their own stuff, and Underwood was making theirs. And there's also Corona and L.C. Smith. Those two companies combined during the Great Depression in order to stay in business. And from 1942 to 1945, there really wasn't anything produced. There was a couple of small contracts with the Army, with Royal. But everyone else was manufacturing guns at the time. So you're not going to find too many during that time period, and if you do, it's actually more of like a historical war relic um, than anything else. You, there's a lot of machines that are being found these days because a lot of the World War II vets are dying off, and you're finding a lot of Royal arrows because it was a portable. So Stars and Stripes, a lot of the guys that were going overseas. Silver Reed portable and a Remington streamliner. Nice. I haven't seen a streamliner. It's hard to come across them around here. The other one you mentioned, what was that? The Silver Reed. I do come across those a lot. I'm guessing it's like a plastic body, but it's lightweight. And those are fairly popular with a lot of the younger people who are starting to get into using a typewriter, just because they can easily take it to like a coffee shop and stuff, work on it, and have people coming up. It's to pick up chicks, nerd chicks, but they're picking up chicks. I'm debating whether I should go get another glass or not. So, Silver Reed, Remington Streamliner. I have been getting a lot of Remington Quiet Writers, but I have this idea for. Um, I want to get a sandblaster, and I've seen a lot of people taking like the crappiest machines they can get their hands on. It's Japanese make, I think. Found it for $40. Just need a new ribbon. Check eBay. Um, there's a couple of really good companies on eBay that make brand new ribbon. Universal spools, so they fit almost most machines. The machines you're going to have a problem with would be like an Olivetti, which has a larger uh, rod in the center, so it's not going to fit most of the new spools that they're making. But you shouldn't have a problem with what you have. So if you go onto eBay, just put in universal ribbon, and they usually run $6-7. If you're looking at typing with it, I'd get an all black one because you're going to see a switch that has black, white, and red. The black and the red are the usable parts. The black is going to be in the top of the ribbon. The red is usually the bottom of the ribbon. But if you get an all black ribbon, use the top part. That starts getting really dull. Switch it to the bottom, the red, and you have a whole new ribbon all over again. So that would be my suggestion. Bang for your buck if you get an all black one. And the universal should be fine. A lot of the machines, 1940s on up, use the same design. It was only Olivetti. I don't think Hermes really tinkered around with having their own type of ribbon. The Remingtons, though, the Remington Quiet Riders. I don't know about the Streamline, but they had like a metal ring that was in the middle, and the actual mechanism on the machine is what the ribbon would uh, wind up on. So those machines were a little different. And I'm not sure as to why they would have chosen to do it that way, because they're a huge pain to change over, especially if you're buying new ribbon today, because you have to take it off the plastic spools and completely wind it on yourself by hand. You can't just pop it in and pop it out. You can also, Michaels is now carrying ribbon, but they charge something like $10 for a new one. The only upside is they're doing different colors. You can get blue, red, purple, pink, whatever um, color you're looking for, and that's mostly for people who are doing like invitations. They want to be cute with their thank you cards and stuff like that. Um, oh, the raccoons are out. They are so freaking creepy. Ugh. And yeah, so Michael's is an option. If you're really desperate, you don't want to order online. Is Office Max still in business, or is it Office Depot? I know one bought the other. Calculator ribbon, but it only comes in the black and red. Fairly cheap. It's just smaller spools, so you have to take it off. You don't get as much. It's like half of what a normal typewriter ribbon would be, so you're constantly switching it back and forth, and it doesn't last as long. Works great for really small portables, like the Remington Portable Model 1. Those had smaller spools on them, so it fits great on that. That's about it. I think eBay is probably going to be your best bet. That's I usually get mine in bulk on there. Unfortunately, you don't get a discount. I usually get 5 or 10 spools at a time. Sometimes you can get 2 for 1. The only downside is you get 1 black and red spool and 1 all black spool. So what I do is I'll put the black and red on whatever it is I'm selling, because for some reason people think it's what's supposed to be on there. It's more attractive. Thanks for the insight. I'll be taking a look. Oh, no problem. And I'm going to be signing off because I'm starting to get bit up. I'm out of drink. My pipe is spent. And I'm ready to go to bed. I think the downside of quiet nights is it possibly attracts bugs. I doubt it. They're just really aggressive this time of year. We're supposed to get rain today. Didn't happen. So the less water there is, the more aggressive they get. Anyways, for everyone out there watching, have a good night. And remember, take care of yourselves.